were the Marfa Lights. Described as basketball-sized orbs, the Marfa Lights exhibit a range of colors, white, blue, yellow, red, and display unpredictable behaviors such as hovering, darting, splitting, merging, and flickering across the Mitchell Flat area east of Marfa. They are most commonly observed from the Marfa Lights Viewing Center, located about 9 miles east of town on U.S. Route 90. Static over Mitchell Flat. The last cell tower blinked out in Riley's rearview mirror as he crossed the cattle guard east of Marfa. He liked it that way, off-grid, silent but for the thrum of his rental truck and the occasional gust of desert wind slamming against the windows. The radio had turned to static 5 miles back, right where the dirt road peeled away from Highway 90. He was here for the lights, not the tourist-trap Marfa Lights. Riley scoffed at those. The locals always had a story behind closed doors, tales they wouldn't share during festival season when the artists and influencers flooded into town. But get them alone at the bar after dark, and they'd start whispering. There's lights, and then there's the lights, old bartender Glenn had told him, voice rough with whiskey. You'll know the difference when they don't stay out in the flats like they're supposed to. It was just past 1 a.m. when Riley parked his truck on a ridge and stepped out, camera bag in hand. The stars above were too many to count, but he wasn't looking up. He was looking out across the Mitchell Flat, where the phenomenon supposedly danced. For half an hour, nothing. Then, a flicker. A single orb blinked to life, hovering low and still, like it had noticed him. Then 2 more, red and gold, weaving in and out of view behind distant brush. Riley pressed record on his camera, zoomed. But when he looked through the lens, they weren't there. He dropped the camera. The lights were closer now. They didn't blink like car headlights or shimmer like heat mirages. They pulsed, synchronized. He counted 1, 2, 3 off. 1, 2, 3 off. Like a code, like breathing. Suddenly, the static from the truck radio roared back on, so loud it hurt. Riley stumbled toward the door, fumbling for the keys. The truck was dead. All electronics dead. And the lights were moving, not gliding, not floating, striding. Silent, smooth, faster than they had any right to. They closed the distance in seconds. Riley ran. The land stretched in all directions, the same low scrub and rock. But no matter how far he ran, the lights never grew smaller behind him. If anything, they multiplied. They made no sound, and they cast no shadows. Only a pressure, low in the chest, like something ancient breathing through him. He tripped hard on something in the dark. A shoe, half buried in the dust, sun-bleached and cracked. There was more, a crumpled backpack, shredded fabric, an old Polaroid camera. And beyond it, another shoe pointed west, like someone had tried to run. The lights had stopped, not in the distance. 10 feet away. 15. A semicircle, perfectly spaced, humming now, low, deep, vibrating in the air like power lines under tension. They didn't flicker. They didn't fade. They waited. And then nothing. Riley woke up with the sun on his face, lied beside his truck like he'd passed out drunk. But the footprints in the dirt, his footprints, went out into the flat and never came back. He drove straight back to town, shaking, eyes bloodshot. Glenn didn't say anything when he walked into the bar mid-morning. Just poured him a shot and nodded. You saw the ones that follow, huh? The ones that follow. Riley didn't sleep the night after he returned from Mitchell Flat. He sat in the motel's rusting lawn chair, wrapped in a blanket, the rental truck packed and ready. But every time he thought about turning the key and leaving Marfa, the same image flashed in his mind. That semicircle of lights waiting, patient, like they knew him now. He hadn't told anyone what he saw. Not really. Glenn seemed to understand without explanation. The old man just gave Riley a key to a shack out behind the bar and said, You'll want to stay off the main roads for a while. 3 days passed, and the lights came to town. They didn't hover in the distance anymore. They weren't confined to the scrublands of Mitchell Flat. They showed up in reflections, on the motel window at night, on the screen of Riley's dead laptop, on puddles after the early morning sprinklers ran. Just flashes, like something peeking in. At first, Riley thought it was his nerves, sleep deprivation. But others began to notice too. A woman checking out of the Hotel Paisano ran screaming from her room, claimed she saw a face made of fireflies watching her through the mirror. A kid vanished from the gas station outside of town, just disappeared. His bike was found a mile east, wheels still spinning, kickstand never used. Glenn stopped showing up to the bar. Riley checked the shack one morning and found it cold and empty, a half-eaten bowl of beans still on the table. There were boot prints in the dust, leading out the back, into nowhere. That night, Riley dreamed the lights, not dancing or flickering, but building something, a shape, vast and ancient, out there in the flat. He woke up with dirt under his fingernails and the taste of metal in his mouth. The sheriff called the lights an urban legend, said the missing boy probably ran away. But Riley noticed the deputies didn't drive east after sundown. The road out toward Mitchell Flat had been unofficially closed. 3 cones and chain, as if that would stop anything. Then came the static. It returned all at once. Radios burst with it. Televisions buzzed and glitched. Even people's phones, on airplane mode, began to hum faintly when held against the skin. That night, every light in Marfa flickered, then went out. In the darkness, above the town, a new light appeared. Not hovering, not dancing, just watching. From the ridge where Riley had first seen them, the townspeople gathered at dawn, staring eastward, afraid to speak. The sun rose, but the light remained, high, cold, unmoving. And Riley? He walked toward it, just like Glenn had, just like the kid must have. Because once you've seen the ones that follow, it doesn't matter where you hide. They're not bound by space. They're not interested in belief. They remember you. If you enjoyed today's story, please like and subscribe to hear more spooky stories every week. Thank you for supporting my growing channel.